On this episode of Xicago Beer Pass, Nick and I are drinking some Five Rabbit as we talk about Nick's adventure out to the suburbs when he went to Whiskey Hill, Black Horizon, Oak and Ike, and I hit up Bottom Lounge for the Chicago Beer Society day/night of the Living Ales. All that and more on this week's episode. Here we are, hitting up events, drinking our way through Chicago beer, and trying not to miss a thing.
Yeah, because, the cork popped out, boom, it flies like fucking 10 feet. We're like, yeah, let's do it.
All you have to do is add some fruit, stir it up, and ride that milkshake wave.
Whenever I see him, I gotta take a photo with the most decorated brewer in Chicago, Jonathan Cutler.
It'll be like the stuff you hear. You ever go to, every time you go to Floyd's, all the music sounds like this. Raw, raw, raw.
Sometimes you want a small beer, but really, you want a big beer.
You gotta take in all those big aromatic hops.
Hey, what are you doing this weekend? Waiting in line for a bottle release?
You should have never been a fad. The black IPA is delicious.
Hey, and welcome to Chicago Beer Pass. I'm Brad Chmielewski.
Brad, what's up, man? I'm Nik White.
We're out here washing our hands, I'm drinking beer only out of the bottle. Definitely gonna stay away from tap beer. I
Brad,
don't mess with any of this.
Wash your goddamn hands,
Yeah.
and then after that, keep your hands to yourself. Those are words from up top.
Yeah, I just start bringing my own glasses into bars and be like, nope, you need to fill this one up. I don't know where that glass has been.
This fucking Rona, man. I mean, I hope it doesn't affect the festival circuit of beer. As of now, I think like the Craft Brewers Conference is still a go. That's next month in San Antonio.
Right, and that one's questionable right now.
Even St. Patrick's Day. Boston St. Patrick's Day is out of there.
Yeah.
Chicago's like, well, maybe not yet.
Not yet, but they, I think Pritzker today said we're taking it as a sign. Like they are, they have more outbreaks than us. So if they're doing it, we will probably do it. Basically, kind of what he said.
As long as they don't fuck with opening day, But all bets are off, man.
I don't know. What if opening day happened, but you couldn't go to it?
That's more likely to be the scenario.
Right.
It's fucking Rona, man. And Rona's not even really killing that many people compared to the flu.
Oh, well, it's still early.
But I understand you don't want to be the first big party where somebody hadn't caught the Rona.
Right.
That Roni. That Roni Ron.
Yeah. It's still early. It's a wild ride.
I love that you brought the we're drinking on a little Xicago from some Mexican lager from Five Rabbit.
One reason I got this was one, we haven't had Five Rabbit in a while, but
Yeah.
I'm incredibly sick of seeing these breweries. Today it was microphone posts, like their Kringle, like, I don't want a donut in my beer.
All these
I
weird
want
ass adjuncts
beer.
to beers. You just want beer that tastes
I
like
want
beer.
This was beer that tastes like beer.
It's a very welcome addition to the beers we see on this show.
Right.
Yeah, so they're in Tall Boys, which is new for me. I don't think I've seen them in Tall Boys yet. No, Fuck Your Hair was in Tall Boys.
Yeah, it
Cinco
was.
tu Pelo, right? Chicago with an X. I always like that.
Yeah, so it's like, if you are giving up Corona right now, this beer.
This is your Corona alternative right here.
Yeah.
Should have been your Corona alternative.
Yeah, it should already been.
This is a good time to remind you that it should be.
It's just like a nice, easy drinking beer. It's super clean, like just clean tasting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Very mild, noble hop spice. Mm-hmm. It's great. I like this beer a lot. It's hitting the spot.
Yeah, I'm on board with all the haze and IPAs, but man, the pastry stout game is just like,
You just want a fucking IPA.
I don't know. I will have a taste of all of these because I'm interested.
Yeah.
But I don't want a can. I don't want to pour.
Yeah. And you gotta know what's going on. And then sometimes you almost want a more descriptor than you get on some of these things. Mm-hmm. You open some up and it's like super, pepper burn, hazy. You kind of want a heads up.
Yeah.
Because you'll just get a blank can that was wrapped, right, and a label, and you get an ABV and a cool fucking story, and you won't know what the fuck's in it. This is something you can believe in during these trying times. The good folks at Fire Rabbit saving the day.
So they're still in their Bedford Park location, right? Aren't they opening that?
Yeah, they got a gigantic space.
But they got the Pilsen one. They're
I think
opening,
that's
right, or moving to?
I think that's in the works.
Okay.
I think last we talked, they were looking to do a Kickstarter,
Okay.
which is kind of
Oh,
weird,
that's weird. Yeah,
right?
that was weird.
What you need a Kickstarter for?
'Cause
We're still doing Kickstarters out here?
I don't know. I wonder how Band of Bohemias went. For
That
their
was another
Kickstarter.
crew. They're like, yeah, we need this. We need these Kickstarter funds to do this. I'm like, I didn't know we were still doing that.
But I feel like I don't know who was going to Bedford Park for the brewery, but now that the Chicago Fire are playing at Soldier Field this summer, no one's going out that way unless you live there. You got nothing now.
There's a rock fest out there every summer.
I don't know what- I don't-
Chicago Open Air. It's a 3-day fest.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with that stadium now.
It's a painful route because there's really there's no public trans alternative. You kind of have to drive to it. It's essentially a remote location, even though it's just outside the city. Mm-hmm. It really sucks getting out there. I think I spent like a solid 90 minutes from downtown.
Yeah.
Going to this joint, and it's just off like 75th and like Harlem.
Yeah,
like it's not terribly far. It's just in a section of town where there's just like a bunch of one-lane bullshit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's rough, man.
Like feels like what 3 highways connect all over there.
That place sucks getting to. I just thought about that, man. It was really bad. I pulled over in like a Dominic's parking
Cried.
lot. And I'm just like, man, I think I'm gonna get some shut eye. let this traffic die down. I've never done that before. I'm like, God, this is bad.
So yeah, Maui. I enjoy Five Rabbits beers. I can't go to that place.
This is nice. Fire Rabbit's always been an interesting crew.
Yeah.
They went big with that location. Well, they're in Pilsen now. I don't understand why they didn't go Pilsen in the first place or Bridgeport or something like that.
Right.
They went far, far away. But they wanted the big operation.
Well, that was when they kind of hit the scene. It was when you needed. It was all about production brewery. Get your beer to the market as much as you can, and now it's like, nah, you need a tap room.
You need a location.
You got to have people coming into it, and then hope they pick it up at the store too.
Yeah, it's good to see they're still around. They didn't close up shop. They're an interesting footnote. Mm-hmm. I think the first Latino-inspired brewery might be the first Latin-owned brewery, and certainly in the city, maybe in the country, right?
Probably not the country, but
I think it was the first themed.
there wasn't someone in like Texas or New Mexico.
You would think.
Yeah, all right.
You would think. I remember, they showed out their first year with, what's their Belgian? It was like basically their Belgian wheat ale, but they used passion fruit instead of like orange.
That's right.
They took a couple mellows JBF right away. They always clean up at Fobab. With Ingo Montoyo, which is their coffee stout.
Yeah,
Some good stuff coming out of there.
Digging it. So we're gonna sip on this Mexican lager, 4.8%, as we talk about our adventures this week, and we're gonna throw in a new topic on this episode: beers you should revisit, because we don't know what's happened with events. So,
as the situation's rapidly evolving, Brad, maybe we shouldn't be hanging out in large crowds like this until we get things are a little clearer.
Yeah. So do we want to talk about those beers you should revisit now or after we talk about what we did?
It's your call.
Let's go into what we did.
All right, cool.
Let's get that out of there. You did a Josh Riley style suburb crawl where you go to an area and you just go all out.
It's like I can't just have one. I gotta go all the way. So we talked last week about Whiskey Hill. This is the artist formerly known as Urban Legend, then Myths and Legends. So what I learned this week, I saw, we should get him on the show too, my man Bob McDermott from the Beer Bistro.
Formerly the Beer Bistro.
And he's always got some wacky stories to tell, so he was fun.
Yeah.
And I think he said he's looking for locations, maybe for something, just a different vibe. Because Beer Bistro as it existed, I don't know, how well does that translate into late 2020? Right?
Yeah.
So if you do something else, it might have to be a different concept.
Classic wings and fries kind of bar with good beer.
I think when he opened in West Loop, this was pre-Haymarket,
Yeah.
So it was like really I don't think there's anything like that over there. They were just like, maybe some Irish bars, right?
And there was nothing to go to and from Soldier Field for
You mean,
Hawks or
yeah.
not Soldier Field.
UC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And going there, it was like, oh, there's nothing here. I have to leave and now go somewhere else. So
Yeah, it was a destination for that. But tying it into the Myths and Legends thing, I think he was telling me that the original owners left to go start the 51st Ward. Because that place, Myths and Legends, changed ownership. Every time it changed owners, the name changed.
51st still around?
I don't know. I feel like we might have had their stuff. And we're
Yeah, we
like,
did.
the running joke was that there is no 51st.
Right.
There's only 50.
50 wards.
Yeah.
I haven't seen their stuff around.
No, I had a stout, and that's all that kind of came and went, the whole thing.
Yeah.
But Whiskey Hill. So Westmont, Illinois. Beautiful Westmont. You got to get off at 63rd Street.
Yeah.
Off of, 355 or something.
Yeah. Did you drive by Scalawag?
I did not. I was so turned around. Like, I kept my eye on the fucking GPS the whole time. I'm like, dude, I'm not sure what's going on right now.
Okay.
Yeah. It used to be called Westmount.
Okay.
Westmont. So there were hills.
Okay.
Right? So they built.
That's West Whiskey Hill?
Right. So there was a train, right?
Because that's your joke. There's no hills?
There's no hills, there's no whiskey. I don't understand this.
There used to be hills.
I need help. There used to be hills. It was Westmount. Okay. But apparently the train ran through. The train was at the top of the hill. At the bottom of the hill was a building. It was home to like a brick company. And that brick company was responsible for rebuilding a lot of Xicago buildings after the Great Chicago Fire.
Okay.
A few families later, it became a restaurant that Al Capone used to frequent. And then the owners of the restaurant started distilling their own whiskey. And it became like a hub for Al Capone and his whole outfit.
Oh, man.
After a while.
This whole Whiskey Hill story makes so much
So
more
it's
sense.
all starting to unpack a little bit here. So I'm like, well, that's where it comes from. So now you start seeing all these mysterious shipping trucks coming from this fucking restaurant, right? And no one knows what's in them, kind of thing. So that was the legend of Whiskey Hill. Like, even during Prohibition, this is a place where you could still get hooch. They used to make hooch there.
Oh, and was that why it was called Urban Legend?
It was maybe that was why the original name as well. And it was at
This makes so much more sense. We've been making fun of it for
I know. I'm like, I don't
years.
understand. I don't understand any of it. So it was at the restaurant was at the bottom of the hill in Westmount.
Where'd the hills go?
I mean, I guess, and landscape changed. I don't know. I've never taken the train out there. For all we know, the train could be still on a hill, for all I know.
It's Illinois. There's not that many hills.
It ain't this the flatlands. Ain't a whole lot of hills. There are some hills, though. But
All right.
all right, so the beer.
That makes so much more sense. All right. Now we can share those facts. See, we just make fun of stuff until we know the answers.
I tell you, man, if they keep this up, they're gonna need a bigger place, because this place holds maybe like 30 people.
Yeah, it's tiny.
Yeah, and maybe another 10 or 15 in this other room. Eric Flores, the brewer from Goose, who left, this was his first time pouring beers that he made on the tanks.
Okay.
So,
I went probably almost a year ago. It was kind of summertime. And I went to Scalawag and Whiskey Hill and was meh about the beers at the time.
for sure. I think that's been the general consensus about that place. Yeah. So this guy had a 300 Lux, which was an American wheat ale with Amarillo, and put a light on, which was a triple dry hopped with Citra and Nelson Sauvignon. But I think the star of the show had to be his stouts. I think he had a couple stouts on. One was a blend of 3 stouts, but then the other one, it was called Blend 1. So it was a blended imperial stout with coconuts and bourbon chips, because he just got there. So.
Yeah. No barrels yet. You gotta.
Yeah. So he tried to get. He brewed Prop 19 from Goose. He tried to. The distributor, they took too long. So Goose said, "Listen, we have a couple cases in bottles. Why don't we just give you those? Don't charge for them. Just complimentary on the house. Share them.
Yeah.
Since you came with the recipe."
Okay.
So there was a lot of that going on.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Hot Butcher's Fat Bear on draft. That was their peanut butter chocolate stout.
Okay.
Fantastic stuff. A lot of that. And just general, a lot of folks bringing them gifts and bottles, kind of sharing, excited about the fact that there's a change in direction at the old Whiskey Hill.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
That was stop.
Well, how was it? Big turnout?
Yeah, this place was nonstop.
Okay.
This place was completely fucking packed.
And it was Saturday?
Yeah,
Right?
Saturday.
It's mildly warm.
So they share, it's an industrial park, just like these other stops. But they shared parking with all these other businesses and theirs. It was like an active industrial mall, like a car repair shop and all this other shit. So if this continues, they might need more space because it was very popular.
You're gonna have to get rid of some of those abandoned cars that are all around from the
you might
tow yard or whatever.
You might have to put in an offer to one of the surrounding businesses for sure. Damn. That was Microphone's thing, right? They start slowly buying up the whole damn block.
Yeah.
18th Street's the same way. I heard a real crazy story about 18th Street down there.
Oh, yeah?
Man.
Side note?
Yeah. About how, how he's really, because I wore an 18th Street hat once.
Yeah.
And I got him from Josh Riley. And he was like, folks were telling me about how former employees of 18th Street were treated really badly when they went back to 18th Street. To the point where, like, Brad used to brew there. Now Brad's at 18th Street having a beer and a sandwich with his friends, and he's being forced to leave. Like,
just because he's like, screw you, you left?
You left, and screw you. I'm like, this can't be real. And I'm hearing the same thing again, you know. And like, no, that's very real. You know, this guy used to work there, this guy used to work there. And, you know, we made some comments on one of their beers, and then they saw us at Fobab and asked us, what's the deal with those comments you were making? Like, just very, like very matter-of-factly telling us this weird stuff about 18th Street. I'm like, man.
That's kind of nuts. That makes you, like...
Is that what's going on out here, man? Like...
Not want to mess with them, right?
Like
you don't want to, like...
It was almost like, yeah, we didn't really care for the beer you made. And guys from 18th Street seeing these guys in public and saying, what's up with the shit you were talking about my beer?
Right. They
like
start
that.
coughing on you and be like, you got corona now. Don't like our stuff. Infected.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, you know, just some very strong claims there. Very, and really just kind of disheartening if that shit's true. Yeah. Because, I mean, come on, like, you used to brew at a place.
Yeah, you got to be cordial.
You can't go back? Like, what the fuck is that?
Like, you know, employees leave, you know, you got to wish them luck unless they were, like, shitty people. But it's like, good luck, man. Like, thanks for helping out during that time. Like,
the first thing you notice when you notice the flock come, there's like 2 or 3 Goose guys come. Goose is like, hey, we tried to sell the beer to you. We can't. Let's make it right. Let's give you the damn beer. Yeah. And when you see those type of actions and then you hear about this shit, I'm like, man, that sucks if that's true.
Yeah. Nice. So. Okay. But, all right, back to Illinois here.
Yeah, man. But here's beers were good, man. You know, there's some room to grow. That's the first time he's brewing on that system. Those stouts, he knows his way around a stout. His versions of these stouts, even though they were kind of, you know, they were chips instead of aged on oak, they were quite nice. And high, and then low body, nice ABV. Like not.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask. Like, we've lost that. Like, there are big stouts, there are pastry stouts, but we don't have like that Guinness to Bourbon County, like in between, like the 7 to 10% kind of stout range.
This was a tweener. I'm trying to look up the ABV. Don't You Know I'm Loco was one. Mm-hmm. And man, they're saying that other one was 14%.
Oh wow. Okay.
God damn. So I don't know. It was just unusually drinkable for that big a beer.
Okay.
It was nice. I'd like to go back and revisit it because I'm like, man, I just started drinking. I know I'm not like flying over this beer, but this beer is very drinkable. I like it. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you did Whiskey Hill, and then you but you were at. Did you go to Black Horizon first?
No, Whiskey Hill was the first stop.
Whiskey Hill was first.
Cheers to Firewater. So apparently, the way Eric Flores found this guy is at the Firewater guys.
What?
Oh, sorry. Firewater is a smokehouse in like nearby Joliet or something.
Okay.
There's like a chain of 4 smokehouses. It's called Firewater.
Oh, okay.
So that truck came up and they like roasted a whole pig and
Cool.
But the Firewater guys who own that place are the ones that bought Myths and Legends and renamed it. Because he had these 4 barbecue joints and he wanted a brew house. Mm-hmm. But they met through Xicago Beer Society.
Oh, cool.
So that was that connection.
Comes back to my adventures. Okay.
Yeah, man. So I'm trying to keep pace, Brad. I don't know how we're doing, man. But after that, we went to Black Horizon because, you're out here. That's what you got to do. So we passed Willowbrook on the way to this joint. Mm-hmm. So Black Horizon is only reason I know the name is because they took – for the Fobab Fantasy draft, we were looking at previous winners, and they won in historical category. And he was like, yeah, that was our Tom Collins, Jim Barrel Age Pale Ale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So these guys they all have their day jobs still, and they really they like hazies, they like Belgians. The first beer they all ever made together was a Belgian. Yeah. And I think that might have been my favorite beer of the day from there.
They're Belgian?
It was a Belgian double.
Okay, nice.
Like 15 beers on draft. These are all your standard, what do you call it? Industrial park setups.
Okay.
You know, with the food truck setting up and the van wrapped in the logo. And
Yeah, they've been on my list to like check out for a while, and I know they're not too far from Buckle Down. They're not too far from Whiskey Hill. Like, there's out that way, and I just haven't gone out there yet. But they've been on my radar for a while because that sounds interesting, and the space looks pretty nice. It's definitely bigger than Whiskey Hill.
Correct. Like, it's the kind of space that Whiskey Hill needs to grow into.
Okay.
Yeah, right. And I'm like, so, because one of the guys is black that owns the joint.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so Black Horizon, how'd you come up with that name? And then one of the guys was white. He's like, well, he'll tell you it's another reason. But the reason they named it Black Horizon, I think, is because they all had their day jobs and they were hesitant to leave. And this was their next adventure on the horizon. But then black kind of refers to them being in the black as a company versus being in the red.
Oh, okay,
right?
okay.
Like, business is doing well. We're not.
How you come up with that name first? Like, you don't know your business is gonna do well. Max Profit Brewing.
Max Profits, bro. Max Profits with 2 Z's. But I think that's what he said. He said that's how he came with the name. Man, their offerings were great, man. I liked all their stuff. So cheers to them, man.
Or best IPA brewing. I don't know. We just knew we were gonna have the best IPA.
We knew out the gate. I was like, where did you look? Because Willowbrook kind of I know nothing of Willowbrook.
Yeah.
And they were like, man, we almost moved to Batavia.
Oh, okay.
But then you miss out on all this synergy from all these other stops.
Yeah, but you'd have Penrose out there.
Oh, that's the St. Charles area.
Yeah.
You got your Penrose. There's somebody else out there. I think Alter has a new location that's opening up out there. So you'd be part of another thing.
Those Riverlands out that way?
Yeah, see?
Yeah, see? Those guys.
That's far away.
There's people. Yeah, that's far. It's
far
far. No easy way to get there. You don't want to get to Bedford Park or go to Bedford Park over to Batavia, St. Charles. That's hard.
Wow.
But anyway. And then you made another stop. You went back the other way because...
Ike and Oak is in... where's Ike and Oak, man?
I think
that's in... Is that... Now I gotta look it up.
But I thought Black Horizon is back towards the city.
Woodridge. So that's Woodridge and Willowbrook.
Are really close?
Nah, this is like a 8-mile run.
Yeah. So I feel like you backtracked a little bit.
I feel like I should have gone to Ike and Oak first.
Yeah.
I think we just wanted to go to Black Horizon first. And then we knew that we would eat at the last stop.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so Ike and Oak, the guys who started the joint are avid, what do you call it? People that like outdoorsy folk.
Outdoorsmen.
And they're outdoorsmen, avid outdoorsmen. And, Ike refers to a bear they once saw on the trail, and Oak refers to the nature of the trail. This is what our waitress told us.
Mm-hmm. And the brewer used to brew at Two Brothers.
And Lagunitas.
Lagunitas.
And Beta Brow. He was Beta Brow's old brewer.
Oh, that's
yeah. Right. So that was cool. So, this is the Willowbrook's answer to peace, right? They focus on pizza and beer.
They have 2 kinds of pizza. They have New Haven style, and they have regular pizza.
Okay. Yeah.
When I was there, I think I got either the burger or the pulled pork sandwich.
Yeah. So they're doing more than just pizza. It's more of because I got calamari. I can't get calamari at Peace.
I think my entire family might have got the nachos.
Yeah.
There was 4 orders of nachos as the meal.
Yeah. So and this isn't well, first of all, this is a restaurant.
Yeah.
This isn't just a tap room where the others kind of, you get away with that industrial park kind of DIY vibe.
Yeah.
This is they spent some cash up in this joint, right? This is a very big, polished operation. And there's a full kitchen, too. So it's a full family restaurant.
And it looks amazing in there, right?
Oh, dude, that space is nice.
It's one of the nicer tap rooms. And I think when I was talking about last time, it feels like a tap room you'd see in Portland or Denver, because that's kind of where they got their inspiration from, or somewhere like that, where it's oh my God, this is what I miss. It's not wood and old and dark or stainless steel. It's like, oh, this is nice and different.
That's very fair. Yeah, that's a nice space. And me and Brad were joking in the pregame, like this little section with the townhouses just got built across the street. It looks like this whole little mall setup is probably like 3 years old. Yeah. You came here 5 years ago, none of this shit was here probably. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's so much to keep up with. The only reason I know about Ike and Oak is because you mentioned it once. I only know about Willowbrook because I was in a FOBAP thing. Okay. And these places, and I only know about Whiskey Hill really wanting to go is because my buddy was like, is friends with this guy. Yeah. So it's like,
you got to force yourself to just pull up the Google map and be like, all right, breweries, let me like zoom around, see, let's go here today.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're up for escaping Occupy Chicago, right? And a lot of people are. I know I was excited to get up on a Saturday morning and just kind of change my whole scene by leaving, going an hour away. Mm-hmm. It was cool. I had a good time. So I'll probably do that again in another 5 years. I think that's last. I think last time I was out there. It might have been like 3 summers ago. Yeah. So it was good. It was a good ride, man.
That's cool. Yeah, I know I have plans to try to hit up Oak and Ike with family at some point here. So yeah, we'll see if we're not quarantined.
Oh, dude. Italy's quarantined.
Yeah. But you mentioned Chicago Beer Society.
Yes, that's where the Whiskey Hill boys met each other. Yeah.
I went to one of their events over the weekend.
One of their flagship events, I would say.
Day/night of the Living Ales. Went to the night session.
So you're not a Day of the Living Ales guy.
No, I like the night. Yeah. I've always done the night.
I feel like it was night at first, right? And then day be incorporated later.
I don't know. I don't remember. I feel like they used to advertise it more as like 2 independent things, and then whatever happened. Like after it left Goose Island, it's now just Day of Living Ales, and there's a night session.
This is Bottom Lounge.
It's at Bottom Lounge in the upstairs.
So that's the volcano room.
Yeah. Went there. We did Kaiser Tiger beforehand, so had some food there, and then went over to Bottom Lounge. Session started at 6. We got there. There were like 20 people there, and half of them were working.
No, is this? How long does this party go? Is it like 6 to 9?
6 to 9, I think. So, 6, maybe 9:30.
Oh, but I would imagine that if you're going, a lot of people went to the day.
Probably. A lot of people went to the day. Yeah. And then, like, people started to fill in, and it filled up. But I remember when it was at Goose Island, it would be, like, elbows to elbows. You would be, like, trying to, like, try all these beers, get a taste of something. Not at Bottom Lounge. Even last time I went, like, maybe 3 years ago, you just kind of walk up and be like, all right, I'll take this one. I think when I first went, you just poured your own, too. They didn't even have people pouring.
That's an interesting wrinkle. I mean, that's how you keep up with the times, though, right? Like, I'd be down for pouring my own.
But this one, they had people pouring. And there was 33 beers. Yeah, they were fine. Like, they're not.
Right.
There is not a beer I would remember or mention.
Or revisit?
Or revisit. Yeah. The couple, like, I guess, Goose Island's mild ale won gold in the day session.
The old.
They're mild.
The old flock.
That's got to be literally the most boring beer. We're drinking a Mexican lager here. Mild ale might be even more boring. Like,
is this the People's Choice? These awards? That's probably how that's working.
Yeah, they're all People's Choice. And then another one.
They were like, but this mild ale though.
They're
looking at their chart. They're like, man, they're
so that is right there. The group of people that had to have been at the day session. The night session was a little bit of a younger group, but they were not beer people. They just happened to be people that were drinking beer. It would just, if you told me they were paid to be there, I would believe it. Like, they did not look like.
It's like at the Super Bowl with the people in front that are cheering super loud.
Yeah, they did not look like they were like that into it or that excited about a lot of what was happening. They were just kind of like, all right, we got here,
Yeah.
kind of thing. A beer that won in the night session was Temperance Peppermint something or another. I don't know why that beer won. It was
not a fan?
It was like drinking peppermint toothpaste.
Temperance.
I think it was one of the beers they put in the can, like in that like stout series.
Temperance was rolling when Claudia was there. It was. So Temperance and Dry Hop are in the same category for me.
Okay.
Like places that used to be cracking.
Open Outcry, Will Turner was there, so I saw him. He had a Scotch ale, which wasn't too bad. I was like, man, I haven't had a Scotch ale since I had a Robert the Bruce, because no one really enjoys this style. So it's like, all right. His was kind of like a little more caramely than I remember Scotch ales, but I haven't had enough. But it felt caramel heavy, but they're all Firkin
It's
kind
a
of
style I wouldn't mind seeing more of. Scotch ale.
one of the beers I really liked was Around the Bend had a beer that was
ATB.
it might have been just a pale ale, and it was like, man, that's what I want. Like,
See? Dude.
it was just
you,
a
man.
weird fest. This was strange, and one this is funny. So we are in the midst of Corona, kind of. People are like,
Yeah,
a little concerned at the moment, but you're not like stopping doing what you're doing, even though you maybe should be.
I'm hesitant to give people hugs. We gotta bring that dick bump that they do what the Cubbies did in the World Series. Every time somebody scored a home run, they'd go to the dugout and just bump dicks. It was so weird. We gotta do that, man.
But this lady, we like walked by her, and she had like some chicken strips or chicken fingers in it. Another guy was standing by there. She's like, yeah, we're not gonna eat all these. Do you want these? And it's like, I would, like, she didn't ask us. She asked the guy like that was standing. I was like, even in the midst of like a virus outbreak, I am not taking random chicken. Like,
It's gonna be a hard pass for me.
I would have to be pretty drunk.
Yeah.
And then we agreed pizza slices I would take from people, but a piece of chicken from someone's like basket, I don't know.
Were they like samples for everyone on a tray,
No,
or
it was like she had like probably got like 3 or
she
4.
had like a single order of chicken strips?
Yeah, and there
And
was
she's like, "Do
one
you
that-
want in on this single order?"
She was like, "We're not gonna eat this one." It's like we were just eating all the other ones over it. This is like a recipe for disaster.
Don't you know that Roni Roan is out here
Yeah,
in these streets
but I don't know why.
shutting down countries right now?
I would take like a pizza slice from someone over a chicken strip, but that was just me. I don't know.
That's interesting. I don't know, man.
If I'm really drunk, I don't care. Like, mine is epidemic or pandemic outbreak. I like, depends on how drunk, but if someone had a box of pizza and they're like, slices, I'm like, all right. But if someone's like, hey, here's a bucket of chicken.
If it's for the crowd, that's true. Because even if the chicken was for the crowd in gigantic buckets versus the pizza in gigantic boxes, I
don't know. There's something about like,
are people picking up chicken? Because chicken on the bone freaks me out. I can't eat chicken. It freaks me out. But are people picking up pieces like, nah, not that?
I don't. But pizzas, no one's like, oh, I know. Let me like, I don't.
But you just grabbing a slice and that's
Yeah.
the end of it.
So it was a weird. It was a good 15-minute conversation had with friends there. Like, what would you take from people? I was like, yeah, pizza was the like. For some reason, don't feel bad.
Chicken's out. We watched a lot of zombie movies, though, so if anybody coughing, you're tempted to just like you just chop someone's head off the minute they start coughing. Like, with no outbreaks, we're not having it.
But that guy, she offered it to that guy, and he took it and was eating it.
It's at a beer fest, and he's starving.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to walk to the McDonald's across the street.
They had food there for you. Like, they had like cheese and crackers and stuff because it's a Chicago beer.
And you go to.
This guy's like, I'll take the stranger's chicken.
I'll take the stranger's single order of chicken.
Yeah.
The last piece.
But this was a Chicago Beer Society event. They had lots of shirts and merch for sale. I don't know how much they were selling. I think they have a couple events. They have this. They have that picnic event. Is the Brew Pub Shootout? Is that a?
That's the beer society.
That's a beer, and
That's
then
restaurants and that's beer and food pairing.
Right.
Yeah.
So they have a few events. I think they have basically like 4 events throughout the year. So
They had one that was really good.
Steve Hamburg was there.
Stevie,
Said
the
hi to him.
barbecue, not the barbecue,
Is that the picnic?
the picnic.
Right.
I think that's like their main event.
I think that might be called either they have the picnic now or they also have one called like Hazy Days of
Hazy
Sun.
Days,
Yeah.
which I kind of wanted to go to last year.
So that's I think coming up or something. So
I like Stevie Hamburg, man. He's one of my favorite people.
just I'm glad I went, but it was a weird event. I don't know
Yeah.
who this beer fest is for anymore. It's cask beer. It's hard. Like, you're not explaining what cask beer is to anybody. Are you supposed to just know? What am I looking for?
That's interesting, like, because, we joke about, seltzer and hazies and fucking pastries and how beer has kind of, the last 5-6 years, gone into all these subsets where people don't even really care about what came before this.
Right.
They just want this, and if you don't have this, then fuck it, I'm gonna get a ginger and Coke or a ginger and JMO.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's interesting, like that fest doesn't really, it kind of doesn't translate into the local beer fest scene, kind of, right? That's
yeah.
what,
Because even if you like cask beer now, there was never a lot of places to do it, and there's even less places that have it now or that are even bothering with it because nobody's asking for it.
Yeah, we were saying last week how last time I went to Own an Engine, which, cask beer ends in the namesake of the damn place, and they didn't have the shit on cask.
Yeah.
We got nothing on cask right now. I'm like, bruh, this is Owen and Engine.
Alarmist usually has a cast offering that they just like have fun with, but that's at the tap room, so they can just like get away with it. They don't have to buy their own beer, basically. So
I wonder where this a fest like this sit. I mean, it's an ode to a cool. In the past I liked it.
it's neat, but it's just it's not as neat as Uppers and Downers. Like Uppers and Downers is way cooler of a, like there's nothing cool about Day/Night of the Living Hills. It's interesting, but it's not cool. It's not getting people excited about beer. It's keeping a group of people happy that it still exists, which is cool. Which you need both.
That in itself is still
Yeah,
that still has merit. That's cool.
totally. But that was my adventure for the weekend.
Right on.
I don't know.
Yeah, I got Jared Rubin. That's the last time I went to one. He saw me there and he was like, "Here you go," and I gave me a couple tickets. I went in.
Oh, okay.
That was the last time I went. Goose Wrigley.
Oh, nice. All right. So we're not going to talk about any events, but we wanted to mention some beers you should maybe revisit if you're staying at home and you're getting supplies, not contaminating people. Maybe a offering you should check out.
Or if you're self-quarantined and you got that Rona.
Yeah. Get it delivered. Get on, I don't know what, Amazon Prime, Whole Foods, and get it delivered.
Postmates.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So what do you got? What's your pick that someone should revisit?
Barrel-aged Surly Darkness I had a couple nights ago.
Someone could just get this.
Oh, fuck. Wait.
That
All right,
sounds
you
good.
go first. You go first. Sorry.
That sounds real good.
That's the one where I was like, yo, it's been a long time since I had this beer.
Yeah, because we had Darkness
Correct.
the other week.
Like 2012 or something.
Yeah, which we got to post that video. But yeah, so fresh. How'd Fresh Darkness taste?
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
I was a big fan. Yeah.
A beer I was saying you should revisit. I wanted to say Brian Baru, but that's apparently not made anymore.
Yeah.
It's Three Floyds. You got to get on that.
Yeah. But a lot of those beers that kind of got me into beer a little bit, the beers at Whole Foods, like the Rochefort series, those Trappist beers. There's 8 through 12, right? And they all have different ABVs, but then they're also a lot of cases they're different styles.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then they're like, Orval is a good one. Like, a lot of people, like I remember we shot something at Koval. It wasn't a Koval piece, but we were at Koval and Randy Mosier was there. I didn't know what to bring, so I just brought like a 6-pack of Orval. or even Randy Mosier's like, damn, man, it's been a long time since I had this beer. Like it was a trip.
That's probably a good one to revisit. 'Cause
Yeah.
if you're a beer person, you likely haven't had it in a while.
Yeah, and you've had, local interpretations, right? Like even what's the new crew at District Brew Yards, the Latino crew.
Oh yeah, Casa.
So they have a saison, right? But if you haven't gotten into some of those saisons, I would say take those for a spin. They're accessible. You can get down at some Whole Foods action. Westlake View Liquors, if they're ever fucking open. Dude, you go by Westlake View 4 days, they're not open. What's going on over there? Yeah. That was Wanza Day at one point, right? It was there. It was always there at first. So, so I would say those two.
That's a good one, yeah. Since there's no Brian Baru, I would say go with Dumaine DuPage.
There you go.
From Two Brothers. They're celebrating their 23rd anniversary this year. And Dumaine DuPage is like just this classic beer. It's malty. It's kind of perfect what you want in this fall, springy kind of weather. It's kind of, stick to your bones, but I don't know, not heavy or anything.
Yeah, man. And these are beers where, you're not really trying to turn up. You can have it with food. You can have it if you've had a couple martinis already.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said martinis. I had a martini this week. But if I had 2 martinis.
Mix a couple of martinis at home.
Just
get yourself an Orval and, just go from there. Nick lives this lavish lifestyle.
we like fancy cups, man. We like to drink, man. But,
BA sort of darkness, martinis, and Orval. Oh, yes.
But you know what I mean? Like it's not a destination overwhelming as beer, this Dumaine DuPage. I like that call. And then like a lot of us overlook, I don't know why we overlook Two Brothers, but probably because they're 23 years old and they just kind of do what they do.
Yeah. But they have that sweet Jordan can coming out.
What's in the can? Because the can is nice, 23rd anniversary.
I think it's a double IPA.
Right on.
So. It looked like it might have been. The size was deceiving. It's probably a 16 ounce, but it looked like one of those like tall boys, like the
19.2.
19.
Okay.
Which would make sense if you're 23. You got the Jordan thing. You got to go tall, right? Yeah.
Just don't piss him off, man. He sued Dominic's one year because they had like a 23-ounce steak and they had the 23 in Bulls font.
Oh,
he sued him. And gave all the money to nonprofits. Yeah.
I wonder if they're gonna get sued for that.
Just be careful. Mike likes to sue people.
All right.
I'm like, Mike, you're rich as fuck. We're suing.
You don't get rich, but not suing. Yeah, cool. So there's a couple of beers you should revisit.
I like that. That's a good call.
Since we're maybe staying away from Fest at the moment. We'll see what happens. Before we get out of here.
Consider the 2016 dig bump instead of trying to shake people down. Consider that. Pelvis bump.
What are the ladies supposed to do?
What about like the old school, like, Soul Train line with the hip to the side? Just like, right to the side.
Yeah, you see a couple of white guys trying to like
fall to the ground, like, oh, God damn it. No, I shouldn't have tried this hip shit. Oh, man.
All right, so before we get out of here, we got a little bit of news.
Yeah, man.
What's been happening?
Man, let's talk about Goose Island 312 Day.
Oh, yeah, that's coming up. It's, today's the 18th or the 10th, so a couple days. So
Yeah, March 12th. How about the variants this year? So at Fulton, you can get like 5 variants. 312 aged in Jepson Malort barrels, a dark matter dry bean 312, 312 double dry hopped, 312 all English hopped, and 312 Big Mitch, which is an imperial wheat ale.
Big Mitch. Okay.
I don't know what Big Mitch means.
They probably wanted to say Big Bitch, and they couldn't.
Okay. I'll go with that because I have no idea. I'm like, Big Mitch? Who's Mitch?
Yeah.
And I'm like, Michigan? Like, that doesn't make sense. Oh, but anyway, variants on 312. There's pizza specials all around town. You can get like a Pequod's pie and like a 312 for like $10.
Oh, that's
And then they have a whole slew of concerts around town, maybe 5 or 6, all bands I've never heard of. Brad.
Okay.
But the return of the scavenger hunt for Goose Island bikes.
Bikes, okay.
It's a bike drop. So on 312 at midnight, every hour on their Twitter, they're going to post clues and then you can retrieve 24 bikes in 24 hours all around the city.
Okay.
This bike is legit. Like, I kind of want this bike.
He might have a good chance because we got 2 days away. We should be at about 100 cases of corona in Illinois by that time.
No one's
so
coming out.
no one's gonna be out.
It starts at midnight. All you gotta do is get your little power nap in, and go get this bike. I'm gonna name a few of these.
The bands?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you got?
Guerrilla Warfare High Priest, and Every Time.
Is that one
Yes.
band?
I don't know what the fuck this is. Avail with Dillinger 4 and Canadian Rifle.
Diligent 4. I've heard of that.
Okay. An Evening with Andrew Bird and Curious City.
Oh, Andrew Bird, yeah.
Okay. So, all right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So, yeah. I like how they've expanded this to like a whole citywide thing. Because back in the day, it used to just be, well, the 312, was it a 312 block party?
Yeah, it was a 312 block party.
So,
right?
was it for.
But the 312 block party it's not, they just call it the block party now.
So, this 312 thing.
Was the 312 block party on 312 weekend?
Oh, no.
Would have been cold as shit, right?
That's true. It would have sucked. The block party being a summer thing is where it's at.
Yeah, so I think it was called the 312 block party, but maybe not during 312. But
So I like that. I saw Mayor Hawthorne in the Goose Island Barrel Warehouse one year, and it was fantastic.
nice.
So I like that they own the day, they throw concerts, they fucking party. The variants, that's some new shit that, it's constantly got his little twist
Yeah,
every
that
year.
Dark Matter 312 sounds interesting.
Yeah, I'm curious. Because 312 on its own, it's like,
It's fine.
yeah,
That's fine.
it's fine. It's a very fine choice.
Yeah, it's almost your baseball beer at this point, right? All right. What else? What else we got?
Shout out to the good folks at Haymarket. They have a beer collab with the Chicago Defender that pays tribute to Mayor Harold Washington. So it's
nice.
a honey ale. It's called Heralds 83 Honey Ale. So they apparently there's a blog, and I met this guy. I can't think of his real name. I actually met him when we went to what do you call it? We went to Eris for a preview of the auto show.
Oh yeah.
And there was a dude pouring for Goose. And so apparently he's got a blog called The Brother at the Bar.
Oh, okay.
So he made a beer with Haymarket.
Oh, that's cool.
Right. And it's interesting. The honey ale, they use local ingredients. They want it to be like this urban honey ale. So Sweet Beginnings is they make raw honey products. They sell raw honey products in North Lawndale, and they employ convicts. And this is apparently 1% of all breweries owned in America are black owned. Only 1%.
1%. Okay.
And then I think out of like something like 300 licenses for liquor in the city, there's only like 9 of them are black owned. So they're bringing, they want to discuss the discrepancy and kind of be advocates for
Okay.
different
Well, that's
groups,
great.
different groups of people having access to to beer.
Okay.
Yeah. So cheers to them.
Nice. So when's
That
that beer
sounds cool.
supposed to be out? They just brewed it, right?
They just brewed it, so you got to get out a couple weeks.
Okay.
It's funny, brother at the bar, when he met me, he's like, hey, I know you. You're Shalanda's husband.
Oh, damn.
I'm like, oh, look at that. Now I'm Shalanda's husband. That's funny. Yeah. But, I'll roll with it. We'll take it.
Stings a little bit, right?
It's cool, though,
You know me, but
we met before, right? Ain't you Shalanda's old man? Oh, that was so funny.
but you didn't meet. Did you remember him?
I think I've seen him before.
Okay. So
think
which is worse. He knew who you were. You were like,
Like, we know you know me by face, but you really just know me for being, someone's spouse. Yeah, so cheers to them. That's cool. Hope to see more of that. Because, as things tighten up, I think there's been articles about this, like where as things tighten up, if breweries want sales, partnering with different groups is a good way, especially if you have a location, it's a good way to keep those doors
right.
open and things flowing.
Right. You gotta let other people know you exist. Like collaborations, I think will be the best move for a lot of breweries this year. Just remind people that, hey, Five Rabbit does a beer with, I don't know, Alarmist, or I don't know. I can't think of anyone else. Or Haymarket.
That's like alarmist. I can't think of somebody else.
I was like trying to think of someone else who would be could be good, but yeah, Haymarket beer. Just like these collaborations, or like Hot Butcher, or be like, hey, yeah, your twist, our twist, we got a brewery,
For sure.
or we got a beer.
Yeah. I mean, the same way for years that breweries were doing products with other breweries.
Yeah.
Right. Or if you're Three Floyds, every metal band you've ever
Yeah.
partied with, you have a beer with them. Yeah. It's the same concept, right?
Totally.
All right. Let's see. Finally, in news, Revolution Brewing. It was announced that they are the top Illinois off-premise craft beer brand of 2019.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
So they sold the most. The brewery that sold the most to bars and restaurants, kind of, right? Is that how that?
No, off-premise is like to go.
To go.
To-go
oh,
packaging.
Oh,
yeah.
to-go packages. Okay.
Yeah.
So you came in there and, well, of course they have,
Fucking cans for days.
but they have like a event where they release cans, like a lot of cans, right? Like, there's amazing, the kind of juice in these numbers a little bit, right?
Is that like the juice baseball? Yeah,
Like if
he had 65 home runs this year. Of course he did. The ball's juiced.
If Goose Island was selling all you could only get Bourbon County out of their breweries and not Binny's, that'd be a lot more beer to go, right?
This is all very confusing.
Like, but I'm sure Anti-Hero was the number one, right?
Yeah, Anti-Hero was number one beer.
It's not.
And Goose and Rev was the number one brand.
So it's not these, these Death Star, these, barrel-aged cans. But that
sets up that satisfies the beer nerds and then sets up those offerings where beer nerds are in a place where they can't get cool beer.
Yeah.
And what do you get now? Oh, let me get that.
Let me get that. It's smart. It's super smart.
I like it. I'm more likely to get a Fifth City than I am an Anti-Hero. Okay. When Anti-Hero first came out, though, God, here I go with the back in my day shit. Back in my day, Anti-Hero was
I was
the best.
drinking Anti-Hero out of the bottle.
Yeah, Fifth City all day though. Oh, but so they 9% decline across the board for off-premise craft sales. So according to this Brewbound article, Blue Moon, Leinenkugel, Goose Island, Lagunitas, and Sam Adams were the other top brands in the state. Yeah, and Revolution narrowly edged all of them out. Yeah, so.
But where are you buying Sam Adams to go?
Probably at trains, right?
Trains?
Yeah, like at the train stations. Are you saying people are not like going to party?
I just wonder where you're getting Sam Adams to go to drink.
But, I mean, they're in 12 packs though, right?
Yeah.
Most of that stuff's in 12 packs.
So this does include Binny's, like beer to go from
Yeah,
Binny?
that's Binny's, yeah.
Okay. I thought it was just
No. So
at the
on premise would be like drafts that you have to drink it on site,
yeah.
and off premise is anything,
Anything to go from anywhere, not just from a brewery.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, all right. Then never mind about this juice in the numbers. I thought it was like
Oh, they're sold
to go from their
brewery.
from their
No.
play. Oh, so it's
No, this is from retailers.
beer to go anywhere.
Anywhere.
So still, who's buying all this Sam Adams?
Yeah, when was the last time you bought Sam Adams? Last time I bought Sam Adams was a Christmas pack. And
I do
maybe,
like their
2005.
new like campaign is like to the cheers, like bringing back cheers. Like Sam Adams is all about like cheersing people. It's like
Like Sam?
I think just being
Norm?
like, oh yeah, you gotta like cheers, like to like kind of thing, like which is it's pretty good. But anyway,
Revolution made $12 million in off-premise dollar sales. You believe this shit?
damn.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ. Wow.
A lot of money, but not as much as they made last year, right? Because if they were down,
Correct. They were down by $288,000. Damn. Dude, Revolution made $12 million in off-premise dollar sales in Illinois? God damn.
they have big staff, they got a lot of beer, they're doing something right.
Beer money. God damn. Good job by them.
Yeah.
That's it for news, man.
Nice. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode. Nick, if you're out and about, where can people find you? Get in touch.
Right on. Pelvis bumps only. I'm at Nicosio on Twitter.
And I'm on Twitter at BRAD. You can find Chicago Beer Pass Twitter, Chicago Beer Pass Instagram. We're posting photos of the beers we're drinking on and off premise. The website is chicagobeerpass.com. All the episodes get posted there. I think we're working on figuring out a date with Ravinia, getting over there.
Yeah, what are they doing, man? That place ready yet or what?
I don't know. Can people go to it? I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out all of that. And yeah, some other good stuff. So keep a lookout for that. And we'll be back with another episode soon. Take care.
Cheers.